in some tough economic times.
Yeah.
Some people say that perhaps we're already in a recession. Do you think that we're in one? And what is your advice for small business owners?
I don't know whether we're technically in a recession. I know economists argue over that, and they have certain technical definitions. What I can tell you is the economy does not look great right now. Things are slowing down. You're seeing layoffs in many sectors of the economy. People are slowing down. The probabilities say if we're not in a recession right now, we're likely to be in one very soon. So my advice to people, whether they're small business owners or is take some risk off the table. If you were going to make a purchase, maybe slow down that purchase a little bit. Keep some dry powder on hand, and wait a bit and see how. Try to reduce some risk in your business or your life.
Oh, you tweeted batten down the hatches.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you mean by
That's
that?
what I mean. If you're an individual and you're thinking about buying a new, large screen TV, maybe slow that down. Keep that cash. See what happens. Same thing with a refrigerator or a new car or whatever. Just take some risk off the table. If you're a small business, maybe delay some capital purchases. Do you really need that new piece of equipment? Maybe it can wait a little bit. Have some cash on hand. Just a little bit of risk reduction could make the difference for that small business if we do get into even more serious economic problems. So you got to play the probabilities a little bit.
Any idea in terms of what you're hearing or just with your expertise as to how long this recession could last?
I don't think even the most experienced economists in the world can answer that question. It's a very challenging thing to try and estimate. So I think you just have to try and be reasonable about it. Take as much risk off the table as you can for yourself. Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst.
Welcome to Key Stock and Crypto channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And guys, we have stocks down today. Now, we had the FTX situation, Sam Bankman-Fried, and that's the reason why I didn't do videos last week, because it's definitely a hot story. But the bank man steps down, then FTX files bankruptcy, and then we have all the politicians involved. So guys, this is another movie. And because everyone that's involved, and on top of it, we're now in the social media age, things can have big ramifications when it comes to this story. Now, we had the Fed's Vice Chair Brainard says that it may be time for the Fed to slow up on rate hikes. And guys, don't forget they're going to be raising rates next month on the 14th. And then next year is going to be all about shrinking the balance sheet. We know they said they were going to be shrinking the balance sheet this year. They haven't done much. So that just lets us know how bad things are. And remember, all the central banks are raising rates. And don't forget, a lot of these central banks were in negative interest rates for 5 and 10 years. Of course, when it comes to America, we dropped all the way down to zero. But a lot of these European nations were at negative rates. And don't speak about Japan, which is still in negative rates and hold a lot of United States debt. And that's the reason why they were the first project for the fourth industrial revolution. So please, guys, look up Society 5.0 on my main channel, Crypto Teacher. And then also make sure you're looking at the short videos where I show all the automation that's going to run through this economy. Now, we have Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway discloses a $4 billion stake in Taiwan Semiconductors. And guys, who know how important chips are going to be for the fourth industrial revolution. And that's the reason why Biden wants to bring manufacturing back to the United States when it comes to these chips. And when we look at the chip makers, they're well off their highs. Do I think they're going to take another dip? Yes, I do. I'm not your financial advisor, not financial advice. Please do your own research. But also, guys, it's called investing. We know these chips are definitely the future. Now, we have Tiger Global increases its stakes to Alphabet, Microsoft, and Uber. And I love all three. We know Alphabet and Microsoft are already set up for the fourth industrial revolution. And we know Uber is gradually making its way. We know about the self-driving cars, the self-driving semi-trucks, and we know in crypto, Alphabet and Microsoft are making their way, especially with Google Cloud. And then, of course, we have Microsoft with the gaming Web3. Alphabet and Microsoft have been funding crypto from the beginning. Now, guys, we're going in towards the holidays. And for the holiday season, we know the consumer is still shopping. It doesn't matter what they see in the media. It doesn't matter whether Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, it doesn't matter. They're going to continue on shopping until the end. And of course, the beneficiaries of those shoppers, one of them is going to be Walmart. They're going to benefit off of Thanksgiving and Christmas. Next is Target, and the other one that's definitely going to benefit is Amazon. And we know they've already lowered their forecast for fourth quarter. But you won't get that pop in the stock until fourth quarter earnings, and that will be the first quarter of next year. Now, we had Amazon reportedly laying off 10,000 workers. And guys, don't forget, they laid off over 100,000 at the first part of this year. And anytime there's an announcement that the company is going to be laying off, what do we see the stock doing? It's moving up because that's cost cutting. And then a lot of these stocks have dividends, so that's great for the shareholders. Now, guys, this is funny news. We have Biden's student debt relief gets blocked after we see the Fed printing trillions of dollars, and then on top of it, the billions and billions of dollars we see getting sent over to Ukraine. Now, we have Google settles with over 40 states over location tracking practices. $391 million. So, guys, we know they benefited billions and billions of dollars. But getting over into the actual indicators, guys, we had yield rates slowly rising. We had the dollar up, and we had the VIX up, but VIX is still low. But we know that equals the stock market down. And, guys, I know a lot of you have been asking me about the Patreon for the stock channel. It's definitely coming this month. But guys, that's all I have for you. Have a wonderful day.
Uber, Bitcoin, self-driving cars. Combine those three together and you have the self-owning taxi. A car that is a corporation that owns itself, pays for the car lease, the car insurance, and the gasoline from the revenues it makes, giving passengers a ride, and there's not a single human involved in that matter.
CBDC can improve financial inclusion is through what we call programmability. That is, CBDC can allow government agencies and private sector players to program, to create smart contracts, to allow targeted policy functions. For example, welfare payment. For example, consumption coupon. For example, food stamp. By programming CBDC, those money can be precisely targeted for what kind of people can own and what kind of use this money can be utilized. For example, for food. So this potential programmability can help government agencies to precisely target their support to those people who need support. So that way can also improve financial inclusion.